Karachi hat 21 Millionen Einwohner und ein riesiges Problem mit der Wasserverschmutzung. Wir haben uns ein Bild davon gemacht, wie die Situation in unserer Stadt wirklich ist.
So the main causes of water pollution here in Karachi there are a number of reasons. Like, for example, the water that we get, it comes from a long distance. We take the water from about 150 kilometers from Karachi, from the Indus River, and on the way what happens is that in the pipelines we have a lot of cracks, so they get connected with, for example, water supply sewage lines, or sometimes they pass through overflowing sewage water, so that gets into the pipelines. At sometimes you have garbage dumps in places where below the surface you have the water supply lines going, so that seeps into it. At places maybe they are passing through areas where you have industrial pollution, so all these things kind of get into the water supply system, and then they reach to our homes. And even within our homes, at times we are not very careful about cleaning our underground water tanks, so they also get contaminated. The water gets contaminated there also because of dust or insects or cockroaches, these kind of things going. So there are multiple ways in which the water gets contaminated as it gets to Karachi. But water pollution can be prevented. It's very easy. These are technologies that have existed since like many years. For example, you have to filter the water, you have to chlorinate it, you have to keep checking that your system, your infrastructure is properly laid, there are no defects in it, there are no leaks in it. So if you have a properly running infrastructure, if you have proper filtration plants, treatment plants, things like that, so there is no real reason why water should get contaminated.
You must have read about the Water Commission regularly in the newspapers, that the sewage collected from the domestic homes and from the domestic use goes into our so-called treatment plants. Now those treatment plants have been designed to clean up residential domestic pollution. They have not been designed to clean up industrial waste. Now when that is getting mixed up with that treatment plant is not going to clean up the water. That is why anywhere else, most in the developed countries, they have industry set up, what you call industrial parks, industrial zones, and those zones and those parks have their own treatment plants. And those treatment plants are specifically designed to clean the pollutants and all chemicals which are being generated by the industry.
The distribution system, the transmission system, that is in total disarray, and it's totally broken down. We are wasting most of the water that we are getting, so even if we get more water, that problem will still remain and will keep sabotaging any efforts to get more water.
There's no planning in the urban environment. There is a complete lack of governance. There is the master plan is never followed. If the laws are made, the rules are not present. The regulatory authorities are not doing their work. If they are, they're weak. Mostly not very qualified people are manning those departments. There's a lot of corruption.
It's very important to spread, for example, awareness within the people that a number of health related problems, for example, that they are facing could be because of drinking contaminated water. So I think what needs to happen is that we need to be going to the people, going to the communities, telling them how, for example, at least, of course they can't rectify the problems that are within the infrastructure and all that, but what they can do is at least at the household level they can do something. There are times you need to make sure that people are maybe using too much water. They don't need to use that much water.
I think as young people, what you can do is that at the end of the day, you all are the biggest consumers. You all consume the most, in the sense that you consume most of those items that generate the most amount of waste.
Unser Leben pulsiert mit dem Wasser. Lasst uns aktiv dazu beitragen, die Verschmutzung
Dieser Quelle des Lebens zu stoppen. Wir müssen die Ignoranz unter uns bekämpfen. Es ist wichtig, dass wir dafür sorgen, dass die Regierung ihre Arbeit zum Schutz des Wassers tut. Es ist unser Land, unser Mutterland und wir müssen es schützen. Wir brauchen kein dreckiges Wasser. Wir brauchen blaues Gold.
No.